And the documents I've been reading, or the books I've been reading, are all suggesting, it's not a suggestion, they're stating it as a fact, that the year begins in March. And it's interesting because I found it in a number of books I've read. And unworthy of note, I don't know whether we should truly make this a conversation. I'm not even too clear myself because, of course, we're living in a system where the year begins in January. But I'm reading through these old books and they're saying the year begins in March. I've seen that so much. And so I did a Google search and it says, yeah, in the Julian calendar, the year began in March, which is spring. And spring is the beginning of all things. And so if you even look at nature, spring is when things begin. And it's a loud thought. It's me wondering how much of our reality is a lie. How much of what we call a system in place, a progression, a reality is falsehood or a makeup. How much of it is make-believe? How much of it is conceited? How much of it is false, basically? Okay, so I don't know and I thought maybe this would be a good loads of logic conversation because in my head I'm wondering, in your culture, in your old traditions, when does the year begin? Do you have any foreknowledge of when the year begins in the cultures? I would like to know that. And if we have just enough references for this to be a good conversation, I really think then we would be headed that way to have a conversation as to what the systems of the year. I mean, we think we know the 4 seasons, but the placements of the seasons appear to be skewed. So the old books contradict this new reality. And so in my head, I'm thinking someone told a lie and wanted us to live this lie. Or somebody's lying between what's old and what's new. There's a lie somewhere. Okay. Our first hour today, as you'd expect, I wanted us to do some science today, by the way. You know, it's worthy of note, and I really love us some good old science. But first, we need to talk on the ban on pornography, the pornographic websites. We haven't spoken about that, and I want to know what the Nigerian has to say about the ban on pornographic websites. Also, I would love for us to talk about secondhand clothing. I know. Initially, the whole idea was to discuss wearing originals and wearing fakes. Like, what is the social psychology that informs the preference for fakes or the originals? And I realize it's pretty much a broader conversation. In fact, that conversation from jump begins to show a reflection of economic capabilities and positionings, the class systems in this capitalist element, and you wonder whether it's the class system. Well, I don't even think it's a wonder, I think it's the class systems that pretty much determines what society does, what the people in society do, how they live, if they live at all. And I thought something that we may be very familiar here with. I mean, I think, of course, a lot of people wear original designs, and it's original because it's from the house that's creating it. The originators of the idea, that's why it's original. And then you have the knockoffs. It may come from Turkey, Abba, or China. And then there's the question of quality, if you care for quality. And then there's the question of what is this? I think for me, I'm curious as to know what's the psychology behind wearing the fake over the original? Whether there is a necessity for us to wear fakes because, well, there's a social ranking to wearing to wearing a name, a brand. But hey, is there a preference for new clothes over secondhand? Or does the system automatically suggest secondhand is the bracket for anybody that's between middle class down or lower middle class down? I wanted us to talk about that. All right, so those are the two conversations I have in sight, except that there is this conversation that has been pending. I think it's been 2 weeks now. The conversation around the guy who called us on Confessions Thursday about 2 weeks ago. And he said he had that situation with some ladies where he didn't have sex with them, but they went about town telling people that he was a weak guy. And so I thought we should discuss the psychology of that. We'll talk about I really themed it discussing the psychology, the mental interpretation of how that affects the person. And he was of the opinion that it affected him mentally, that there was more need for him to prove that he wasn't what they said. And I was of the opinion that you don't care what people say, you build your character against all the external factors, because it would appear that you are permitting an external factor determine your character. You remember that conversation? So there's an excerpt on the Nigeria Info website. You can check that out. Other than that, I would just play you a very short clip. But if you didn't miss that conversation, you know exactly what I'm referring to. Okay, now, so with that said, let's just begin. Time's all we have. In the meantime, I think I want to play you Vivaldi, 4 Seasons, and here is a piece, a violin piece dedicated to spring, the beginning of the year. So in a moment, we're going to assume that sometime in history, the month began, or the year began in March. So some say March 1st, March 20th, March 20th, 19th, but March. So if you are of that old belief that the year begins now, Happy New Year to you, I guess. Well, this can't be news any longer because this may have impinged on your lower leanings. Yeah, this may have in some way. Have they banned the thing, first of all? Because I even think that's even out of curiosity. The House of Reps have ordered a total shutdown of porn websites nationwide. It directed the Nigerian Communications Commission to enforce the immediate shutdown of the websites in the country. The House gave the directive during a plenary last Tuesday, suggested that the internet providers must block access under the new directive. When I heard it, I thought, well, this is something. One, because I'm one of the worst in the world, but at least in Africa. It said that Nigeria may be the highest. Nigerians probably watch the most porn in Africa. So there's a list here. Now, it may be inaccurate, but unfortunately it's what we have for reference. So there's Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Egypt, and Morocco. Around the world, it said that the U.S. is probably, highest culprit. But there's Canada, Australia, there's France, there's Brazil, there's Italy, there's the U.K., there's Germany, Japan, Mexico, Netherlands, Poland, Ukraine, Chile, Egypt, India, Philippines, Switzerland, Argentina. It's a serious billion-dollar industry. All right. Now, wait. Name of this sound you're playing. This is where I need another. Okay, so that's Vivaldi. So Vivaldi 4 Seasons, but that's from the 4 Seasons, that's spring. Okay, great. So back to the gist. On Confessions Thursday, we've had our fair share of addictions, and one very popular addiction that has featured on Confessions Thursday throughout the years would be particularly men who, I don't know why women never complain of their own addiction, but it's been more men who've had enough courage to come forward and talk about their addiction and how they're struggling with it and what they thought was a way out of the addiction. There has been a few persons who have suggested, there's nothing wrong with it. But if the figures are anything to go by, Nigeria appears to be topping the ranks as far as Africa is concerned. Okay, so there's this ban at this point, and I'm wondering what else is there for men. Well, maybe not all men totally, but you kind of get the point. But I'm wondering how does this even affect pornography? Just is a good thing. But I know it's anything, and so I know what sort of good is. Is it the Nigerian who's a consumer of porn focus better on his life and other objectives? Do you think that this particular issue has created a generation of degenerates who appear to be more given to debauchery and fornication, who appear to be unbridled in the expression of their pleasure? And so maybe this is the government's attempt at trying to minimize this excessive desire for the consumption of sex and maybe help the mental development of the Nigerian youth. I'm not sure exactly what the actual persuasion was, but they really thought that this would be a good thing. So there's a religious aspect to this, and maybe there's also a social psychology aspect to this. I'd like to know what you think is the social and social psychological aspect to this, and if you think that this is a good thing that may eventually be beneficial, or maybe there are other important things that the government needs to focus on, and porn is probably little pleasures. I mean, you don't have there's nothing else to do. What else do you guys do for fun? You go to the beach, what do? You play cards, you play video games, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, someone is already saying, Joyce, I don't think this would affect the users if they use... I'm not going to say, just so I don't give anybody any clues. Okay, but, I mean, when you look at this as a national policy, to what extent is this beneficial to the society? I mean, we've had issues, we've spoken about other economic concerns that are pressing on the very lifeline of the Nigerian, but of all things would be this one. So there's an assumption that this is probably of a very serious issue, that it had to be taken on a national level. So let's talk 0201-2770-993, 0201-465-7190. And of course, if you're on WhatsApp, I'd love for you to share with me what your persuasions are and why you think this is necessary or unnecessary, and to what end. Let's find out together. You're on the sunny side. Welcome to Nigeria Info. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon, Joyce.
Thank you very much for being here. Good afternoon.
Bless you. How's your day?
Going well. Thank you.
Joyce, do you see the level of what we call sexual violence and domestic violence, sexual harassment that is in Nigeria today.
Oh, very good.
Today now we have a Honorable Natasha. We have you see there are things that the government does. It's not as if immorality that this is going to religious aspect, but let us look at it from the social aspect. Sex workers helps reduce most of these sexual violence,
sexual aggressions.
Sexual aggression.
Really?
And the rate of molestation to juveniles, to children. You see, this sexual harassment, violence to women and other gender bases is very on the high side in Nigeria. And, sex workers helps to reduce it, to bring it. If not, it would have been a kind of something else. So then you are talking of the social media. What I am saying that whatever the decision they are taking on what this, they should remember sexual abuse and violence against women, because if some places don't have ways of getting themselves out, is they go to the physical, they go to the other way, and it will be on the high side, on the increased side. Today now the Senate, are they not supposed to talk on the sexual violence of Nigeria to make a law that will protect the women from this? Maybe say, okay, if you are caught, the person that is caught, you should go for life imprisonment, or give a penalty that will make this sexual violence to reduce or to be on the minimum side. They are not talking about that side. They are talking about ban on. By the time now they are being given some certain amount of money, you will see them, they will open it back. They are using the public to make money instead of going to the real source of the problem, attacking it from the house. Make a law that will protect women from sexual violence. There are certain websites that is even helping to reduce the physical violence. I'm not on the side of that whatsoever, but they should think, because it is a very big work for the security.
Okay.
Security of our
do you judge this step so far to be a step in the right direction, or do you suppose they don't even know what they're doing because they're not necessarily approaching it as they should?
They don't even know what they are doing.
Oh, here we go.
They don't even know what they are doing. I say that is a fact, because if you are now saying shutting out of the website, okay, there is an accusation directly to the Senate President of sexual molestation. Why don't they make a law that will protect women? Make a law which is their own work. Their main job is to make laws that will protect people, the country, the women. Yeah? Okay, then you are not talking about shutting down website. Is shutting down website, is it what will protect all our women from sexual violence, or to make a law that will rule out, or that will secure our women and ladies on sexual violence?
That's a good question. All right.
They don't know what they are there for.
All right.
The reason that they are there for, they dodge from it and go to the wrong one.
Okay.
So they should go to the right source and stop not using all this propaganda and all that things to be making money for themselves and saying they are protecting Nigerians. They are not protecting Nigerians. They are making their money, and they are not doing the right thing. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you so much for calling 99.3 Nigeria Info. Okay, so apparently the motion is set to be... Hold on, let me just go back to telephone lines. You just let me know. Hello, how are you, Nigeria Info?
Hello, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon to you. So good to have you join the conversation.
Thank you so much. I'm Ben from here.
Welcome, Ben. Okay.
Joyce said this is our last call, and I'm just talking about sexual violence against women, this harassment against women. Forget about Natasha. Oh, no. Women, most of the women, they are just out for men. Even married women is too much. They're out for men. They are the ones that are making sexual harassment, sexual advances against men. It is women, married women, even girls, even in offices. They like to seduce men. I'm not encouraging harassment, but this thing that the House of Assembly did is very good. Just if you see what is happening in our schools now, secondary, primary school children, some we hide phone in their bag, come to school, and children will gather. They will go to that dating site, porn site. You see what their children consume in school. You don't know. Children will be damaging in the school. When they come to the house, we don't give them access to smartphone. But when they go to school now, another child will hide it in her bag. Though the school authority is against it, they will gather together and hide it from the teachers. We don't know. They will even bring their money, buy that and load it, and be watching this thing. Some will be snapping themselves. They're doing all sorts of things, posting. You will not know what their child is doing. It is too dangerous. I have children. I know what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but
I have three teenagers.
How did women become really the culprits here? I'm not understanding that import.
No, the caller was just saying, make law against women, make law against women. So many women want men to approach them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's not a crime if you have consent. The issue here is those who do not give consent, who end up being approached violently or taken advantage of. How did you miss that?
It is already in our law.
Yeah, so maybe what he's saying is the actual implementation of the law. Because now it's as though you are almost dismissing the fact that there need not be any.
There is no law they are implementing against the rich in this country. No law at all they are implementing against the rich. The rich are exonerated from the law, from the punishment of the law. Everybody knows that one. If a rich man do any evil, look at now. If it's one poor man now that harassed his daughter, that person will be behind bars right now. That is not supposed to be there. Me, I believe I campaign on protecting women against sexual harassment is dangerous. If women tell you what they face, sexual harassment is more dangerous than rape. It is better a woman face rape once and for all. She will cry over it. Even the catch that.
No, don't say that. Like I please don't say that. Don't piss people off. Don't say that. Don't say it's better that your wife faces rape. Don't say that. Look, hold on a second. Look, I can honestly afford to entertain an opinion. I'll despise both you and it if it's not just inferior, if it's insulting. How would you feel if you were raped? Like, what the hell could you be talking about?
Sexual harassment is
if you were raped, how would you feel? If Gaddafi was violated before he was killed, how would you feel if you were raped?
Rape is very dangerous, but I'm telling you that sexual harassment is very dangerous. It's more dangerous than rape. That is what I'm telling you. I want to give you my point.
No, I don't know if it's necessary at this point. I would need for you to take, excuse me, I'm asking you to think while you speak. You're either going to take that back or this is over.
Okay, I'm sorry. I take it back. I'm sorry. Now, what I'm telling you here, so many girls in university today, they are still in the same course. They cannot cross a particular lecturer. The lecturer says, unless we play the game, are you ready? Are you ready? So many people in the offices, they are junior. We get promotion ahead of them. They will not be given any benefit. Their name will never enter in the list of those to be promoted. If I tell you what women go through, what a woman, when women go through against their husband's friends, some of them women are dying in silence. I'm telling you the truth. That's what I'm saying, that some women will go through sexual harassment. They will not tell you. They are suffering in offices. They are suffering in marketplace.
Okay, so this is a good thing, because at this point you're lost on me.
It is bad. It is bad. That's what I'm telling you. It is bad.
What's bad? The ban on pornographic website?
This last caller is talking about sexual harassment. It is bad. What I'm telling you is that our senior president now is not supposed to be in office by now, because sexual harassment is very dangerous. People are playing down on what Natasha Abbott is crying for. That's why I'm bringing this in. Now, sexual harassment is as dangerous as rape. That's even more dangerous as rape. That's what some of them are too bad.
Okay.
But it is very dangerous, because so many women are 7 years in university now. They have not passed a particular lecturer's course.
Okay.
Because of sexual harassment.
I need to be off on a break. I want to thank you so much for calling, all right?
All right, God bless.
Lakers, we're off on a break. We'll be right back.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Dey tasty, creamy, and nourishing. E get vitamins A, D, E, B1, B9, B12, and zinc. Now, original Niger yogurt. I beg you, make una throw away salute for fine yogurt. Beg you, go Jolly Mento with the new fine yogurt drinking yogurt. Fine yogurt, original Niger yogurt.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with Gloriana and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? And step right up. It's time for more. Register now and take your stand. Your time to shine is now at hand.
Registration is ongoing on www.nigeriainfo.fm.
And Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Suleiman is 11. He rolls a tire under the bridge in Akwonjo. Doesn't go to school. Everybody knows him as the boy that draws under the bridge. We find Suleiman, get him to lead him to his mom, take us to their house, dusty drawer with cobwebs. They open it. Some of Suleiman's paintings, she was smart enough to keep them. Took about 3 or 4 of them, brought them to the gallery. Now, Suleiman will go to school, send his siblings to school. Like the story of patronage. Yeah.
Plus 234 Art Fair 2025 holds from March 27th to 31st at the Pan-African Center, brought to you by Soto Gallery and Echo Bank. Admission is free.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Fan Battle 4 is back. It is back for the 4th season ever on 99.3 Nigeria Info in conjunction with Sports Salon. Of course, Femi and the gang running the show. 32 fans will come into the studio to go head-to-head against each other for the chance to call themselves the champion as well as the winner of 1 million naira. Registration is ongoing at www.nigeriainfo.fm. Click on the Fan Battle banner on the homepage and go ahead to fill the mini form, as well as drop a video that is not more than 60 seconds long with you speaking on any topic of your choosing, as long as it is football. Upload it and, of course, submit. Fan Battle 4, let the battle begin.
.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. So I'm going to read a message here. Welcome if you have just tuning in on the sunny side. We hope this to be worthy of note. All right. Joyce, are they removing local porn sites from Nigerian servers? Oh, wait. Do we have local porn sites? Anybody know? Oh. No way. Oh, wait. This gets deeper and slippery.
Why slippery, Joyce? Of all adjectives to use, you chose slippery, and you're discussing porn sites. Why, Joyce?
And I didn't even mean the implication.
Well,
can I speak freely?
I doubt that you'll be able to say anything freely right now.
I did not know that we have a local pornographic industry.
Wow.
So I want to thank you, CJ from Bariga. He is suggesting that, well, he's asking if the government is also banning or placing a ban on local, because if yes, then porn creators can remove their content or can move their content to Ghana, to Ghana's server. It's Nigeria that will lose. Wait, hold on, wait. Okay, Lagos. Let's go on a break. This appears to be deeper than first assumed. And maybe this is actually why we're discussing it, because it affords us, hopefully, the courage to... We'll be right back. Because what I was going to say...
Information at its peak. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm listening.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info Lagos. You are listening to the news updates this hour. To begin, 7 PDP governors have taken President Bola Tinubu to the Supreme Court over the suspension of Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara, his deputy, and state lawmakers. The governors argue that President Tinubu lacks the constitutional authority to suspend an elected governor or appoint a sole administrator. In addition, they are challenging the National Assembly's approval of the state of emergency, describing it as unconstitutional. Meanwhile, labor unions in Rivers State are gearing up for a showdown if President Tinubu doesn't lift the emergency rule. The NLC and the TUC say the decision is causing hardship for workers, many of whom remain unpaid and are struggling to make ends meet. In response, NLC Chairman Alex Agwanwo warns that investors are pulling out, worsening the state's economic troubles. Moreover, the unions have called the move a direct assault on democracy and are threatening actions that could disrupt the economy. Moving on, Okorie Sylvanus Sunday, who was caught with $578,000 at Lagos Airport, remains in custody on money laundering charges. According to the EFCC, he concealed $299,000 in relaxer containers and failed to declare it. Notably, he has pleaded not guilty and his trial begins today. And turning to other news, the FCT police are investigating a tragic train accident along the Gwagwa-Idu railway line in Abuja that claimed the life of an unidentified woman. Police say they received a distress call and found the woman's disfigured body. At present, her remains have been taken to Kubwa General Hospital as efforts continue to identify her and contact her family. Shifting focus, INEC has rejected a petition to recall Senator Natasha Akpotudwagan, citing missing details. Spokesperson Sam Olumekun explained that while the petition included voter signatures, it lacked full contact information. As clarified, INEC says verification will begin once all requirements are met. It's worthy of note that this development follows Senator Natasha's suspension after she accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexual assault. And finally, wildfires in southeastern South Korea have claimed at least 22 lives, with more casualties feared. The fires have destroyed 17,000 hectares of forest, including the historic Gun Temple. Thousands of firefighters and helicopters are battling the flames as evacuations continue. Experts believe that strong winds and drought are fueling the disaster, with climate change being a contributing factor. And that's it at this time. You are listening to The Sunny Side with Joyce on 99.3 Nigeria Info. It is back to that interesting topic, just discussing with Lagos. I am Yvonne Okaifo, and you are listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info. Thank you for your time.
Tick, says the clock. What we have to do today is worthy of note.
This is Sunny Side with Joyce, only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Okay, so welcome to Nigeria Info. You are on the sunny side. It's 4 minutes past 1 p.m. We hold this to be worthy of note. Indeed, it's truly worthy of note. Apparently, there are no records, like actual market surveyed, optimized samples, records of pornography in Nigeria. But, I'm just now combing through the internet, and I'm finding one website suggesting that this says porn actors offered 200,000 naira per film in Lagos recruitment, and this was posted in 2022. Okay, but at least if we can imagine the industry, which I think is one way to grapple with the weight of this thing, pornography. Remember, Nigeria is set to be highest consumers in Africa. All right, good. Now let's go. It said that the porn industry generates about $97 billion a year. They generate more income than NFL, the NBA, MLB combined. Every second, it's reported that over $3 million is being spent on pornography. So if Nigeria, for example, is a high consumer of pornography, You're not going to get that joke, but yeah. Okay, if Nigeria is a high consumer of pornography, let me share with you the argument posed by the member representing, I think he's from the north, right? Yeah, he's from the north. Kankara Saboa Federal Constituency. Okay, so he says, and I quote, "I would like to move a motion for the need to block internet websites hosting pornographic content and sanction the internet service providers responsible for the posting. The House notes that cyber pornography is fast becoming a global problem, and no concrete steps have been taken to cut its phenomenon in Nigeria. Nigeria is a highly religious country," he says, "and all the major religions in the country forbid nudity and obscenity in any form. Also note that countries in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East have passed legislation that bans pornography in their domains." And so here is Nigeria's attempt at moving a motion for the ban on pornographic websites. He adds, and I quote, "Renowned psychologists and sociologists around the world have issued stern warnings that these are psychological and sociological consequences, or that there are psychological and sociological consequences for creating pornographic content. But even worse, I think that," oh, by the way, that's end quote, But in my head, I'm thinking that sometimes we claim that we're a secular nation. Other times we claim that we're a deeply religious nation. And it's maybe the facts don't quite represent our assumptions of what we think we are. Because how are we the highest consumers in Africa? In the same breath, we're saying we're deeply religious. Who's consuming it? Certainly, maybe the religious people, or those who claim or hide under the umbrella of religiosity. Maybe the irreligious. God alone knows. But we're picking up the conversation from the necessity to ban the site. Now, the last two callers have touched on, one says that women are actually out for men. And I'm hoping that that's not an argument to discount the fact that the weak in society need a form of defense, which of course was the issue raised by the first caller, who says that the House of Reps need to do something greater than what they have done, which is to ensure the implementation on the defense for people who are vulnerable in society. So welcome to the show. I mean, you can tell all the ways this can go. My name's Joyce. We'll hold it to be worthy of note. Oh, by the way, I need to conclude this message here. Joyce, are they removing local porn sites from the Nigerian server? Because if yes, the porn creator can move their content to Ghana. Nigeria will lose. But I laugh. The best they can do is create a firewall which can be bypassed any day. Nigeria should just let it be. And this is CJ from Bariga. All right. Someone has sent me, I'm sure I didn't ask for it, but someone has sent me a website. He says this is a Nigerian porn site. Oh, okay. Let's talk about what you think this is supposed to achieve. 0201-2770-993, 0201-465-7190. We're talking on this move to ban pornographic websites. Now, if you're against the move, best believe I'm holding nothing over your head, but I guess that the larger consequence of the ban or the lack of necessity to ban it. I guess there's a psychological, sociological issue that arises with the consumption of pornography, except you think otherwise. Welcome to the Sunny Side with Nigeria Info.
Hello, Joyce.
Thank you for calling. Good afternoon. Welcome. What's
Good
your
afternoon.
name?
You know, this guy said, anything they are doing, not for our own good.
Oh.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Maybe their children now have become addicted to all those things. That is why.
Oh.
Because if they say Nigeria, they are the highest people going to that website. Did they use their money? Are they not the ones frustrating this young one to be going more into all those things? Because there is no job now. Okay, if they block all those things now, those things that will make them easy their body. Maybe they don't have money to go and carry all these women. So what will they think will happen? The rape, it will be too much, Joyce, now. I think maybe their children have become addicted to that thing, these teenage people, because this is not what we are crying for. That is how I see it. They are jobless. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? So she has raised a similar issue as the first caller. Now I have a question officially, but I'll wait. Hello, Nigeria Info, you're on the Sony side.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. Thank you so much for calling.
My name is Paul.
Welcome, Rob.
It's a good move towards the right direction.
Okay.
What they have done is good. Because if you look, Joyce, we know that brothel business and harlotry is the oldest business in the world. We know that. And there's no company that can be fully sanitized of that business that I just mentioned. Nevertheless, it is not bad for a government to say they want to reduce the menace or the vices associated with it. If as you are trying to restrict, some of our youth, the juveniles, from accessing some websites that might, damage their life or, making them to want to go into some parties that are not good. There's nothing bad in it. My niece is a victim of what we're talking about. The moment she got an access to a phone, she became something else. That does not mean that without the site, she cannot spoil. But somebody can just be at the comfort of his phone and be accessing those sites. If they block it, fine. It cannot be stopped anyway. The other people do.
Wait, I would love for you to at least have enough courage to admit that you have a problem with the blocking of the site, because maybe that just informs the way the conversation should go. Because you're neither here nor there. I think you don't mind the pornography as a thing in society. You don't have a problem with it.
No, the pornography is what we're talking about. The sites that give you the access to what the pornography is, the one they should block. Is that not what we are talking about?
Yeah, but I'm speaking largely. I'm asking a question here. Could you move yourself around a little bit?
I believe what the government is looking at is not the adult side per se. Like me, now, I'm an adult. I'm supposed to know what is good and what is bad, and I am exposed to maybe a woman or whatever. But the angle I believe the government is looking at is those children that are just growing up that might want to have access to. Some parents, they buy their children big phones, and these children, if they are 11 now compared to us that don't even know anything during our time.
They didn't speak to children specifically. They spoke to the issue of pornography for a religious nation as Nigeria as an act of...
The government may not mention it specifically.
But you suppose that's probably what it is. Okay.
They may not mention specifically that we are doing it because of children. An adult can be controlled to some extent. I can.
But they speak of it as an issue that contradicts our religious philosophies. Okay, well, look. Oh, this is interesting. If you like it, I'm not really in your way. I'm not trying to be. I'm not. The sunny side, we're holding to be worthy of note. Welcome to Nigeria Info. How are you?
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. Wow.
This is Adisha from Korea.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't have any problem with asking why do they want to, I have problem with it.
Oh.
Because it's turning males, children, students into something else. You know, where I'm having problem is, how are they going to implement it? I don't really know this is how they are going to implement it, because even right in our school, right in my own school at times, I go around, even in their classes, you see them with phones. Who gave them phones? If not their parents. And those parents, they will not even tell them this is what they should do with those phones. GS3, SS1, what are they doing with iPhone? SS3 that wants to do WAEC, they're already with phones. And instead of them to go into educational posts or educational sites, they are going to mature sites. And they won't even, in fact, the parents don't even care what they are doing. So to me, I have a problem with it too. I have a problem with it that because I don't really think that thing should exist in the first place. But the way they are going to implement it is what I don't understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's read this one. This one says, I think it's a good idea so that it can force Nigerian youths to focus more on bad leadership. And it also shows how jobless the Nigerian lawmakers are. Is this the most pressing problem in Nigeria? This is Victor from Philadelphia. Says, have a good day. All right, now this one says, Joyce, you're acting like a novice here. Don't tell me you're not on X. Go on X, look for Porn X account. Click on Telegram link you see on the page. You come to Telegram. That's where boys are cooling off. If not, for porn, maybe, what? Peels. Oh. Okay, so let me help you. I'm not you. I've complained about minding my business on social media and stumbling on pornography. I've complained about it, and I have wondered why that level of pornography is actually permitted on social platforms. One, because it's violating to innocence, particularly if you're trying to preserve your innocence. If you're trying to, it's really insulting in a lot of ways. And I've said that here on the show a number of times. And I'm not even sure why you think I'm a novice, except maybe you're comparing yourself to me. I'm not you, and hopefully that helps you accept maybe what now is your entrapment. I'm not you. I don't have this issue. I don't like pornography. I don't watch it. No. Do I know about pornography? Absolutely. Do I watch it? No. But I'm not you. That you like it is you, and I'm not even holding that above your head, but this is where you want to do the comparison thing. You would be inferior to compare, so don't do that. You don't judge me, I don't judge you. You would truly be inferior to compare. All right, let's get back to the conversation. Let me just tell you what boys on my WhatsApp are talking about. They were talking about VPNs. Which, okay, let me even tell you at this point what my question is. A number of people are suggesting that there is a benefit to having the pornographic sites unbanned or have them pretty much run their course because they provide a kind of entertainment for those who need it. And in my head, I'm wondering, if we hold that in focus for a moment, should we not be more disciplined people as against finding ways to ease this, someone called it sexual aggression? Isn't there a need for individual discipline? Now, I think that that's going to hold you to some accountability. And I would love to see how we can do that in a conversation. Because then again, it challenges what we call morality or how moral we are as people. Someone already suggested that whoever passed that bill may himself be, in some sense, a consumer. Someone has called and suggested, oh, maybe it's his children, and he's afraid that his children are getting out of hand and his children are consuming pornography. And he thought, well, since I have some power, let me wield some power towards the blocking of it. It's funny how, for me, the confusion is we claim we're a religious nation some days, some other days we're secular. And here there's this issue of pornography. And the logic is, I would assume at this point largely, that, yeah, it's not such a big problem. We like to watch it. We know we have our way around it. And if there is a benefit, yes, there is a benefit because those who need to exhale sexually find means. I mean, someone said, well, prostitutes help fill up a void. Pornography helps fill up a void. And I'm not even disputing that, but I'm also asking you, is there a need now for character development where people bridle what may be excessive? You pull back, you rein in on your sexual pursuits, your appetite. Yeah, for character development. Or should we shove that to hell? We remind ourselves that life is short and man is free, and he must do what pleases him. We hold it to be worthy of note. All right, we have big problem in this country. Is porn good? If it is, can you watch it with your children? Any attempt to clean the society is a problem. Everything has been politicized. Please, please, David. Are you begging a David, or is your name David? But thank you for your message. Okay. This one goes, this is XX Lover. He says, no, XXX Lover. He says, Joyce, they should treat another subject matter. Nigerians are hungry and angry. I personally... Look, thank you very much. I really just appreciate the honesty. She says, I personally bought a dildo to satisfy myself at 25,000 naira. I pray every morning, looking at the people in action. Wait, hold on. I pray every morning, looking at the people in action in all ways. I'm sorry, the sentence is not so clear. You said, I'm satisfied. Every aspect of man and woman affairs can never, ever end. If you feel offended with the site, stay away. Let some of us enjoy. XXX lover. Sure. Personally, I bought dildo to satisfy myself. Dildo is 25,000. Oh, okay. Let's see. If it was banned in our cyberspace, Nigeria will use VPN to bypass it. Okay, entering through another country. All right. Here is a Fendi from Austin, Texas. He says, in Texas, there's a law passed by state Congress and signed by the governor. The law requires porn sites to verify official documentations like government-issued ID or face hefty fines and display warnings that porn impairs the human brain. Oh, so these porn sites have chosen not to comply with it, and porn sites have been blocked in the states of Texas. Thank you so much. This is Fendi from Austin, Texas. I do appreciate your message. Hold on a second. Now, he says that the site displays a warning that porn impairs the human brain. Can anybody even speak to that? Particularly, so the lady who, for example, thank you, I must admit, who admits that she buys toys to satisfy herself sexually. Let me see. I'm trying to run my eye through this one. So someone is sampling an opinion from Texas, and he says that the porn is mandated, or the sites are mandated to show that sex impairs the human brain. So as one who openly admits it, thank you, does that concern you that the consumption of porn impairs the human brain? That's one. Two, as a society that claims to be religious, in the same breath, you're high consumers of pornography. I'm not even trying to spoil the game for you. I'm just wondering whether there is an extent to which you think that this policy is beneficial, or you don't even care whether they block it or not. You have VPNs. Like, you think it's another day in the game. Wait, can we establish that it must appear that you are all admitting that pornography is not a problem? Because that's what it's looking like to me. You don't think it's a problem. All right, we're talking. The Sunny Side, good afternoon to you. Ban on porn. To be frank with you, Joyce, some individuals have high libidos, and so people prefer to visit porn sites instead of sexing. Oh, people prefer to visit sites instead of sexing around like dogs or think of rape. Left to me, we have pressing issues. Porn is not our problem now. Okay. Well, that's an assumption, and I can accept that, except is it possible that porn is not a physical problem because it's a psychological one? Just a thought. Hello, Joyce. Please, Nigerian government should focus on most pressing issues and leave the porn sites alone, unless they create jobs all over the country for the millions of jobless people in the country. This is Anonymous from Lekki. Thank you. Okay, I can afford one more before commercial break. The ban on porn sites is a welcome development, but it's just a scratch on the surface, as it can be circumvented using the VPNs. Also, many social media platform servers are pseudo porn sites. Oops, X, Telegram, Snapchat. These are three of the top pseudo social platforms that, yeah, I'm on Twitter and I find it overwhelming. I'm not on Telegram or social, blah, blah. All right. Well, thank you very much, David from Satellite. I do appreciate your commentary. We're going to quickly go from a break. We'll be right back. Nigeria Info will hold it to be worthy of note.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Did you know that micro, small, and medium enterprises account for 96% of Nigeria's businesses and contribute to about half of the country's GDP? They also provide around 84% of all employment in the country. Want to know more? Join us on Ward Street Drive. our new business show, 2:30 p.m. Mondays on Nigeria Info 99.3 FM. Let's talk.
Hi, e dey tasty, creamy and nourishing. E get vitamins A, D, E, B1, B9, B12 and zinc. Na original Naija yogurt. Abeg, make una throw away salute for fine yogurt. Abeg, go Jollimento with the new fine yogurt drinking yogurt.
Fine yogurt, original Naija yogurt.
This year, we're talking about patronage from many different aspects. Yeah. It's not just giving artists money. It can be helping an artist have an exhibition, giving them exposure, connecting them to the right gallery, the right representative, the right person, giving them studio space to produce, giving them some training, whether it's business training, legal advice. There are so many ways in which you can be a patron of the arts.
Plus 234 Art Fair 2025 holds from March 27th to 31st at the Pan-African Center, brought to you by Soto Gallery and Echo Bank. Admission is free.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Says the clock. What we have to do today. Wait, why? Of note. Oh.
This is Inside with Joyce, only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We're back at talking. The sunny side. Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Joyce. Yeah, Boyes, I'm calling from media.
Good to have you.
Good. In as much as I don't have any problem with whichever law they make, whether it's about pornography or whatever. But that same guy who brought this
the bill
to the fore, the bill to the fore, to the public domain. And I know that he is from the northern part of the country. Am I right?
It would be fair to assume so.
Okay. But what stops them to not to tackle pass a bill that no adult can be a man. No man should go ahead to go marry a small girl. Why have we not had something like that all over these years?
Okay.
Why we're setting something like that? Let's see how it will move.
Okay.
But then, to me, the so-called members, they're just there for themselves. Honestly, what has been going on all this while, they're there for themselves, not for us. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Can I ask you what? Pardon me.
Please ask.
What's a small girl to you? What age are you looking at?
This people man have studied in the north. The man has passed 13 years. We see a man about 60. He will marry in 15 years, 13 years. You just ask yourself what is happening. You just ask yourself.
Okay.
Is that not insane?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, no, we're starting to hear something like that. Somebody like that, one of them, move such a bill. So that let's see how it will scale through. Let's see how it goes.
That'll be
interesting. That's my submission.
Thank you so much for calling. I do appreciate
it. Thank you, Dennis.
So, Arab money. Why is that your name? He says character development is the word, and we need to treat this quick. You don't say much to that. This one, let's see. This Nigerian descendants. Let's see. I am pleased. Oh, hold on. Okay, so let's read this one. He says, I'm pleased porn sites will become a thing of the past. Have you taken note of the leaked sex videos? They're a replica of porn videos made by professionals. A secondary school girl that had sex with 3 of her mates didn't see anything negative in it. Neither did those young ones exposed in Abu Dhabi in a video. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen any of, and please don't send it to me. Thank you. But I haven't, and I didn't even hear of it. So I think maybe what I'm even referring to here is hear of a secondary school girl that had sex with 3 of her mates. And you say there's another one, young ones exposed in Abu Dhabi in a video. There's a clip of our guys engaging in orgy. Porn messes with the psyche. There's a popular local porn actress. Okay, it's alleged that she's from Ghana and Nigerian descendant. Okay. So I guess you actually agree with the banning of the sites, but I think what people may not be fully prepared for may be the psychological implications in society, which of course was the reason that gave rise to the necessity to ban pornographic websites. Okay, Noble says, in as much as I condemn porn in its totality, why are the lawmakers not making laws against corruption and corrupt practices? They ignore this because they are benefiting from corruption. Fair. You say the writer who claimed that porn has been banned in Texas made a false claim. On X, there's adult content being posted by porn stars from the state. Okay. Well, thank you very much. So I guess the guy from Texas may want to confirm, or yeah, I think he may want to confirm that too. Well, thank you so much for writing me. You say this is a huge industry and we have many known porn stars in Nigeria. Let's use this opportunity to tell them to work on their storyline. This is... Wait. You're a consumer of pornography. Wait, let me see. What you want to tell them? Okay. And with their... Don't mind those banning it. Oh, I'm going to read it just so that we are all in this party together. He says this is a huge industry and we have many known porn stars in Nigeria. Let's use this opportunity to tell them to work on their storyline, their looks, bad acting, camera angle in order to be at par with their counterparts. Don't mind those banning it. We have bigger issues. This is Aya. Straight to the point. We can't judge a brother. Oh, everybody must remember this one. Good afternoon, Joyce. My take on the National Assembly proposed bill on banning adult websites is that it's good, but was it not the same Senate that one senator, Elisha Abo, was physically abusing a woman in a sex store, where he was going to go buy sex toys with some women? Nigerians will still bypass the block with VPN, just like they did when Twitter was banned. This is Aya from Ondo State. Thank you so much for writing me. Greetings. Your name's Omalicha from Ogba. You say porn sites should be banned completely. Porn and hard drugs is destroying our society and youths. It's corrupting the people's minds and morals and leads to perversion. Wonder why rape and sexual recklessness everywhere is on the high. All right. This gets interesting. Hello, Nigeria Info. The Nigerian government should also look into how women dress publicly. Most women dress half naked in the public, and this is also a way of promoting sexual harassment. All right. I must admit that the reactions I've gotten on this conversation so far automatically informs our next conversation in the next few minutes. The Sunny Side, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. The volume of your radio set.
Hello, good afternoon, Joy.
Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, this is Uzoma on the line.
Good to have you.
Thank you. Joy, please. I love this idea of the banning these porn sites.
Okay.
Joy, if you go close to our children from primary school and see what they are watching on phone, Joy, you as an adult, you never even... In fact, you dey play. Me, I dey play for where these children are. This porn site, in fact, it is ravaging. You see drug, the next thing is porn site. I am telling you. That is killing our young ones. We are even talking that phone is good. It's not good. But all these evil sites, hey, they will start it like children, they will start it like with all these small children play, programs. But by the time you go into it, Joy, you will marvel. Sometimes they will draw sisterhood. By the time you enter it, please, they should just ban it totally if it is possible. Totally.
Okay.
Totally. And engage our youths. It's not only to ban this thing. What else you put in place for our youth to do? There is no work. There is nothing. No light for them to do business. Nothing, Joyce. So they now see themselves free, satisfactory in drugs and porn sites. Federal government, please, do something, do something. Nigeria is going gradually, going down the drain every day in every aspect. God will help us. Yeah. Thank you, Joyce.
Sure. Thank you so much for calling. I do appreciate 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. It's so good to have you join the conversation. The government should look for other things to do. Cable TV, that's the DSTV, is quite expensive to watch these days. Only local porn sites provide pleasure for most Nigerians today. Sounds like a very crude honesty. Hello, how are you? You're on the sunny side. Welcome to Nigeria Info. You must turn up the volume of your radio set. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel.
Okay.
Calling you from Aja at the moment.
Okay.
Joyce,
yeah.
This porn site, do you know that there are people that are finished with the porn site and the porn sites are not even turned on anymore? I'm giving you this as an example of the last Uber driver that was caught. So what he does is that as soon as he picks up any girl that is beautiful and half naked, he starts masturbating immediately. So, number one, if the government needs to ban this thing, it should first of all start from the movies. Do you know that there are some things that happen in the movie that a child can equally tell what is happening here? There is no more anything called adult movie. It is both children and adults. They will do the wrong thing and tell you for just 16 and above or 18 and above to watch. How on earth will a father turn on television and the children will not watch? Kissing in the public is no more bad thing anymore. Before I started seeing a woman kiss in public televisions or movie, I was almost 17 or 16 then.
Why do you do? Hold on, that's an impairment. What do you mean, woman kissing in a movie? Is she kissing the mirror?
A woman on a man. A woman or a man.
Yeah, like but you didn't say the man. You said the woman. Like this bashing of the women.
Sorry that I used that word. Then you see these things that we watch, that children watch. They call baby. Do you know that if you play that thing for a long time, it takes you deeper into a part where they do movie? That children watch movie and animated movies that you see them fall in love. Somebody's falling, somebody's holding another person. Somebody's kissing, somebody holding somebody.
You mean Baby Shark?
Yes.
Right. I don't watch it.
Do you know that all those things there are partial porn in them?
Oh, heaven, please.
You see, if the government needs to ban, they need to start from a very deep. It has entered every aspect. So there is nothing, as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing you can do to stop that porn site. And if you stop it, it's going to be terrible. 80%. Do you know that the young youth that I pick in cabs, before they go meet their boyfriend or their girlfriend, they watch the porn to get to the mood first?
No, are you making this up, or this is really your experience as a driver?
Okay, hold on, let me tell you how it happens. On our way, they'll stop to get drug. Part of the drugs are called molly. It's called happy moments.
Young people are having. Young people are taking drugs to have pleasure.
Oh Jesus, Joyce, you have still.
No. Because I'm thinking because they are young. No. I'm banking on the advantage of youth to assume that hey, they're young. They pretty much have all that energy. But I'm not thinking that they're taking drugs for pleasure because that's what old people do.
No.
Oh.
No. Energy. You see, they can do the energy is combined. Both drugs are combined.
Okay.
It gives you that energy to go 100 miles, and it gives you that pleasure, that happy moment, and it puts you in the mood.
Okay.
Some of them do this plastic drink first. I've carried somebody in the car talking to the guy he's going to meet, and was inserting in presence of me. She sat in front, inserted that electric vibrator. This thing I'm telling you is not for 3 weeks.
Okay.
So, on the norms, you can't turn them on anymore. They need these things, combination of these two things, to be turned on. And most of the times, these guys chase them away because they come dry.
So do you understand what it means that it leads to mental impairment? Like it impairs the human brain? Because that's exactly what you're describing.
It is already in the human brain. It is part of the human brain.
Well, I guess that maybe if...
Okay, Joyce, let me shock you now. Do you know husband and wife sometimes want to watch this thing together to keep them closer before they have sex? Sorry, it's in the afternoon I'm using that word.
Yeah.
Do you know that? So how are you going to stop it? The government should just go and fry more or do something else instead of bringing bans, unnecessary bans that cannot even stop anything.
All right. Thank
we're
you.
in all this thing together, so we're going to fight it together. But the unfortunate
But
thing is
you don't sound like you want to fight it. You're sounding like we have all come to accept this demon and we would live with it.
Yes,
hopefully it's happily ever after.
Yes, we're accepting it because if the government is doing you one side, you also have to do the government another side. As it is now, the corruption or the dirtiness in children now is going to affect the children of the rich that refuse to fix it.
Yeah, but you're paying too much of a price. You're sacrificing your children to destroy the children of the rich. Is that fair? Well, I don't know. How does that make sense to you?
Because they want the serene environment for their children and want us to be in the dirty environment. So let it go round.
Okay. Wow.
Let it go round. That is it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon.
Don't miss the Lords of Logic tomorrow. I beg you. Hello, Joyce. Our problem is not pornography, but give us light, build factories, industries, give us free education, give us institutions, not churches and mosques. The Prince of Saudi was begging Traore, that's the Burkina Faso president, to build mosques in his country. But the president told him, no, but build schools for us. Let the political elites focus on pressing issues, not religious institutions. All right, thank you very much. This is an issue of displaced priorities by the Nigerian government, though I don't support it, but there are more pressing issues to be addressed. This porn users would eventually find a way to access these sites, like using VPN, changing host of websites due to their level of addiction. Let there be a law that no female child below 18 should be allowed to get engaged in any marital activity. All right, fair. Hello, the sunny side. Lawmakers want to ban porn sites because they all can afford... Your imaginations this afternoon. This one goes, the reason they want to ban the websites is because they can afford hookup. So they're banning the website because pretty much they can afford women. That's why you're assuming that they're banning the websites. All right. I'm trying to read your messages. There's too much of them. Joyce, Miss Joyce, is stealing, cheating, oppression, injustice, and corruption not against the religious tenets? Why are these people hypocritical? If they said they were doing it to protect underage, then I would see reasons. But saying it's because of religion is dumb and hypocritical. The one who steals and embezzles public funds will go to the same hell as the one who enjoys pornography. Sure. Okay, so I think this is a good opportunity for us to segue into our next conversation because maybe the next conversation affords us a more tunnel vision to the conversation we should have. The tunnel vision here is a situation that emerged here on radio and what happened.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.